Welcome to AMERISPLAINING with Walter. And I'm your host, broadcast legend Walter Brohahahaha. And yes, I am broadcast legend Walter Brohahahaha. And now that we're a couple of months into this Iran thing, it's time for me to weigh in. I think it's going pretty much how most people predicted. Crappy. And the odds of the Trump administration making policy course corrections that will make it go pretty much less crappy. Crappy. There's an old expression that was coined well over 120 years ago describing our nation's capital. And I quote, Washington, first in war, first in peace, and last in the American League. Of course, they're making fun of baseball's perennial doormat of that era, the Washington Senators. But now there's a new look, because now Washington is the undisputed champion of insider trading. So here I am. I'm sitting in my comfy chair, on my comfy veranda, at my comfy cabin, in front of my comfy lake, outside of Chagrin Falls, North Dakota. I've gravitated outside for the season because the weather's great. So it's fresh air AMERISPLAINING for the next 6 months or so, whatever the hell that means. And I mentioned the insider trading because Donald Trump has admitted that he made over 3,700 stock trades in the first quarter of 2026. That's over 40 a day. Trades in companies affected by administration policies, many of them manipulating the price of oil or the price of AI chips. For example, that they allow his buddies to make huge profits. And that's just one example, unfortunately. But that got me to thinking about my right index finger. Here it is. There's my right index finger. Looks normal, doesn't it? Buckle up. Here's the story. So last summer, an old buddy of mine up in Communist-Socialist Canada, an old friend from the news business, calls me up, says, "Hey, why don't you come up here, come up here for a visit? You can relax, tool around, maybe do some fishing. You can catch a whiff of what's going on up here in Communist-Socialist Canada with Trump's 51st state nonsense." Because Trump, of course, he's still pissed that he got snookered by the Canadians the last time he signed a trade deal with them. So I thought, well, hell yeah. That sounds good. I can get away for a bit. I'm in. So I fly into Toronto, get picked up, and we drive to his place in the middle of Nowheresville, Ontario, Canada. The weather's perfect. The beer is, well, beer. As we're sitting on his deck having a beer, it's like falling apart in real time, sagging almost up to my armpits. And he says to me, "Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we spend a couple of days fixing this thing up, eh?" He actually said, "Eh? We'll get some exercise, have a few laughs, have a couple of beers, and then it'll hold the weight of my new barbecue, which is sitting in the garage. When we're all done, we can grill up a couple of moose steaks, medium rare. What do you say?" I knew I was being set up. I didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday, But I still owed him for getting us out of a jam when we were both reporting from some god-awful Russian republic. One of the stands, as I recall. We used to call it Crapistan, but only in select company. That little caper cost us each a wife, as I remember, So we had that common bond going. So I said, why the hell not? The next morning after coffee, we got right at her. Well, I'm going to skip through most of the construction phase, though I have to say I'm pretty proud of the end result. You can see here in this first photo that the deck looks pretty sad. Sagging, paint peeling, woods rotting, rail falling down. Photo 2 here, we started to dismantle it to see how much was recoverable, and as you can see, not much. So we had a little bit of fun ripping it down to the bare bones, as they say in the construction business, with our bare hands. We were a little light on tools. Here's a photo. Then it's off to buy new pressure-treated lumber. Not a big challenge in Communist-Socialist Canada. After all, there's more lumber stores and gas stations, and there's more trees than stars in the universe. Along with the nails, brackets, screws, handrails, spindles, everything we needed to do a fantastic job. And as you can see in this next photo, we've constructed the frame, didn't fall down, and as one of my ex-wives used to say, so far, so boring. But surely you can feel the tension mounting. We rebuilt the frame and the bulkheads. Then it was time to screw down the 2x6 deck boards. Now can you feel the tension? Impending disaster? That something really shitty was going to happen? Well, sure enough, something shitty really did. AMERISPLAINING with Walter. But just to back up a bit, because it's very crucial to the story. In Canada, they use a square screwdriver head profile that really isn't very common in the U.S. It's called a Robertson, or as they call it, a Robbie. Wow. Apparently, it fits a little tighter into the screw head than a normal, a Phillips. Making it easier to drive a 3.5-inch deck screw into the wood. Once you've used it, you can lather on the strength of many to drive the screw in faster. 20 minutes in, I could feel my confidence building. By the time I got to screw number 97, wow! 98, fantastic! 99, the best! 100, perfection! 101, 102, 103, 104, amazing! By the time I got screw number 105 in, I was showing off, juggling batteries before snapping a fresh one in place. I was Wyatt Earp with a drill. Screw in my right hand, drill in my left, spinning at full throttle like the previous 104 times. But then, my life passed before my eyes. My right hand was hanging onto the screw that cratered sideways as the momentum of the downward drill pressure in my left hand sent the Robbie drive bit spinning right through my finger in one side and out the other. Oh, shit. Well, I immediately knew that something was wrong because I'm staring at a 3/8-inch Ryobi drill hanging from my right index finger. It was only after I tried and failed to pull the bit out of my finger that I knew that this was next level bad. I had to remove the bit from the drill with my other hand that didn't have a drive bit in it, just to be able to put it down. Well, my buddy and I, we surveyed the damage, then headed for a small regional hospital about 25 minutes away, where I was treated with some pretty amazing care. Triage in emergency took about a half an hour, which I thought was pretty good. And here's what my finger looked like. Then it was on to x-rays. The ridiculousness of a guy walking around with a drive bit poking through his finger did not go unnoticed by the staff, as witnessed by the numerous smirks, muted laughter, hands in front of mouth, as if to stifle a fake yawn. Oh, you're the guy. Oh, you're the guy. All in good fun. Check out these x-rays. Well, then they froze the finger, extracted the drive bit from my finger with some pliers, some big pliers. And after bandaging it up, the doctor asked if I wanted the drive bit back, the Robbie. My buddy said, "Are you kidding? Do you know how expensive those things are? Give it to me." But he gave it to me later on as a souvenir of my trip to Communist-Socialist Canada, eh? So here it is. Oh, hang on a second. Oh. They put it in a pea cup for me. It's a little worse for wear. A little worn out. There it is. That's the Robbie. But you're probably asking yourself, what's the point of telling a dumb story like this when the world is falling apart? Well, I was looking for a point too. Well, then it hit me that between my insignificant finger event and the significant flood of current events featuring Donald Trump, there was a great big juicy metaphor just waiting to be reeled in. Okay, not so much a metaphor, maybe not a simile. Let's just call it a metaphor-adjacent simile. In my little metaphor-adjacent simile, yeah, that's right. I had to figure that one out. In our little, in my little metaphor-adjacent simile, my fingers represent the good people of the United States of America, all 340 million of you. The drill itself is Donald Trump. The drive bit in the drill is the machinery of government charged with implementing Donald the Drill's policies. And the deck screws, they each represent a specific policy of Trump screwing the American people left, right, and center through a blizzard of executive orders, driving his administration totally off the rails, not a half an hour after saying, "I do." Dumb tariff wars, Doge cuts, federal civil service firings, DEI bans, pardoning rioters, drug dealers, and super rich fraud merchants, Trump family grifting and grafting, and the dumbest of them all, Iran. Planning fake news bulletins that trigger massive insider trading profits. The list goes on and on and on. Non-stop, front page, every day for the last year and a half. A bottomless box of screws, leaving millions of mangled fingers that can't afford proper health care. Yeah, it's very tiring. But listen up, because here's where the metaphor twists, turns, maybe makes sense. Because 10 months after my deck building adventure with my buddy in the wilds of Communist-Socialist Canada, what you don't see on my right index finger anymore is a scar. Because when the Robertson dry bit went in one side and out of the other side of my finger, it missed the bone, the artery, the nerve, and the flesh. Lucky. The skin closed up, calloused up, fell off, faded away. Look at that. But in America, the richest country in the world, Drill Bit Donnie is making damn sure that he hits every bone, every artery, every nerve, and the flesh of every finger in America until that deck screw box is empty. You remember the metaphor, don't you? And scars like that will take decades to fade. Of all the tankers and all the ports in all the world, we get stuck on this one, says me. Damn. All the smelly oil sloshing around, not a squeaky door within miles, I'll bet, says she. Oh, darling, when we get out of here, you'll be bragging to all your friends that you survived not one, but 2 bouts of dysentery from lack of clean drinking water. Surely the glass is half full, says me. Look, it doesn't take much to see that floating around here like sitting ducks doesn't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Besides, we'll always have Paris, says me again. Ah, Patty, says she. Yes, I seem to remember we had toothpaste back then, and baguettes, says she again. Speaking of Paris, darling, did you happen to check the stove before we left? Just inquiring, says me. No, I think you were supposed to do it, says she. Well, we've obviously hit rock bottom, the lowest of the low. But here's looking at you, kid. And until that moron from America makes this all go away, look up, look way up, isn't it magnificent, says me. Moon over Hormuz. Moon over Hormuz. Moon over Hormuz. Moon over Hormuz. The brilliance of your eyes against the starry, starry night might be the last thing that I'll ever see. 'Cause if a rocket blows us all to smithereens, in 47 pieces we will be as we watch the moon over Hormuz. Moon over Hormuz. I'll remember every kiss, every moment of our bliss, until the drones get too loud to ignore. When your number's up, bad luck, it's useless trying to duck. We maybe once had Paris, now our body parts float lazily to shore. Moon over Hormuz. ladies and gentlemen. That's a wrap. And special thanks to my cousin Dwayne. And I really didn't have to do anything except sit on my porch and pontificate, which is kind of okay, because everything else was done by that son of a bitch, Blaine Selker. He wrote it, he sang it, he edited it, he did stuff that shouldn't even be mentioned, at least in polite society. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and find me on TikTok as well. Enjoy your summer.
News to your home. His ex-wives hate him so. Walter Brohahahaha, chasing after shaver still ran on to 20 or